Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome to the next episode of the Beefalo Show. And for right now, what I'm going to be doing is experimenting with a couple different gear sets, and the one I'm going to start off with is the Predators. Now, the Predators mark, now I've already taken the time to max roll this and try to split it up a little bit. And right now, if you look at the way the bonuses are set up, of course, let's go through the basics of it if you don't know what this actually is. You get 2-piece is going to give you 10% reload speed. 3-piece is going to give you assault rifle damage and SMG damage of 8%. On the 4-piece, you hit 10 shots without switching target. It makes the target bleed for an additional 50% of the damage already taken by those first 10 bullets. So it just adds a bleed effect to it. So if you're running Urban MDR, you can take advantage of the status effect and kind of pop them a few times, get 10 shots on them, get them bleeding, and you can just riddle them down pretty quickly after you get past that point. Don't ask me what's going on with my secondary firepower there. It just keeps flopping back and forth. The 5-piece bonus. Yeah, I don't get that. And maybe it's the wild card thing for this particular SMG. That's just odd. Okay, well, yeah, the 5-piece gives you an additional 10% reload speed and an additional 8% on your assault rifle and SMG damage. The 6-piece, the damage over time to the target is increased by 150% for every 9,000 stamina and can critically hit. Okay, currently it says placeholder stamina requirement. I'm not going to roll 9,000 into stamina right now because it's just going to take too much away from the firepower. So we're going to see how this actually works. And let's switch over to the Bullfrog and get rid of that annoying sound there. With the Bullfrog, I'm at 400,000 on, just under 401,000 on firepower. So we're going to test it out, see how it does, and we may end up picking up and trying some other assault rifles and SMGs. You know, the fact that it switches back and forth is kind of annoying on the that SMG. So without further ado, let's go see what the Bullfrog has to do for us with the Predator's mark. And again, I rolled it 50-50 on firearms, essentially. Does it work? Yes. Reload speed, not bad. You know, decent survivability here, so I mean, you can take a few hits. In fact, let's take a few hits. Definitely no nomad, so I mean, you can take hits. I wouldn't go facing down too much without having enough firepower to riddle them down. So if you're up against a heavy gunner, I don't think you want to sit there and just tank it while you're sitting out in the open. Let's see if I can get my usual spawns over here. A lot of my last few videos I've actually been running Nomad, and it is just absolutely a great run around, have fun armor set. Nothing's living long enough to really get a good test on the bleed. Really what we ought to do here is break out the Urban MDR and just take a look at it. I should go see what that, I mean, I'm not really worried about what this item is, but being the loot whore that I am, I can't resist at least looking. Yeah. So what we can do here is we'll head back over to the Camp Clinton base of operations. Try to ignore some of these mobs that are freshly spawning. Now, if you're just trying to test gear out, this is actually a really good place just to test gear, because with the dynamic spawns, it usually doesn't take very long for you to get a fight. So you can walk out here and within a short distance you can actually just start shooting at things. You don't actually have to load into a mission or something like that. So I believe I do have an urban MDR on me. Actually, we're going to swap it out with the SMG, even though we haven't tested it yet. Actually, I'm not going to swap it out just yet. I need to actually make sure that I can get some mods on it. Got Vicious, Self-Preserved, and of course Distracted. I don't have any mods to speak of. Get something?
No, we did that today.
Alright, well. If you think of anything, let me know. Right, so yeah, not a whole lot of mods here to deal with. I really don't need anything with rate of fire for a semi-automatic weapon. It's kind of pointless. I think we're going to stick with this for now, because it's just about the only one that I've got without rate of fire on it, and pardon the momentary distraction, and we're going to go with that because I like having the ability to have some decent magnification, so you can use it for light sniping. So the CQB-SS, and the stability is not bad either, so you can try to get some rapid follow-up shots. And since this character is going with a certain theme camo-wise, I'm going to stick with it. Don't have very much camo though. I need to work on getting some more. And where the hell was it? Digital ACU. Alright, so I need an underbarrel, a large underbarrel, and a large muzzle. So I'll just make something really quickly, and we'll go back out there and test the Urban MDR. Headshot damage, maybe not. Accuracy, whatever. Let's try stability. May not be the best option, but it's good enough for now. Lovely, that'll work. And now we need an optic. Nope, we already got an optic. We need an underbarrel. And sadly, all I've got is a lot of red. But we will go down here and get a lesser quality one. And go with the angled grip and go for some more stability. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of reload speed bonuses here. And a little extra stability, so we'll actually go out and test the SMG. Since we did test the Bullfrog and it seems to be working pretty good, go ahead and switch out the Bullfrog for the Urban MDR. Yeah, I kept the Midas just for the heck of it. Since we have all these bonuses to assault rifle damage. The hell was that? It's a random gunshot hit the wall next to me there. 4 body shots. Not bad. I think you're going to get 10 shots with this. That grab was 2 body shots. So, not bad damage. Again, probably not in the best interest to FaceTime a heavy gunner. Really? You're gonna smoke me? Alright. Survivability, not great. And that didn't last for long either. So, alright, time for you guys to enough of the damn grenades already. This is definitely not a tanking. Say if you're not getting swamped, the urban MDR is a great way to go. Seriously. Alright, gotta bleed on him. Okay, so not a fan. We're actually going to switch out this for the bullfrog. We'll keep the urban MDR. Yeah, not a whole hell of a lot of survivability in this. So if you got a longer shot, say go for it. But close range, I like the urban MDR for the rate of fire. I would say in general, I'm not really particularly happy with this. You know, for a solo run. Yeah, I would say for getting out and exploring and running solo, this is probably not the build for you. If you're running in a group, then I would say, yeah, probably so. Not sure what that mod was, but I'll take it anyway. So yeah, this is, like I said, it's great for just spitting out fire. You're going to need to be working from cover. Here. Yeah, for a bullet hose, yeah, I would say, yeah, why not? Run with it. But like I said, this is just, it's just not going to cut it for me for a solo build, for running around and just farming or a lot of survivability. I would honestly rather roll this more towards firearms and just bullet hose and just run them down. Maybe throw a little bit more into your skill power and try to get the your support station, and rely on that to keep you alive. Because I just don't see the survivability of this for solo farming. So I don't know what I've got on this character as for the. I did roll a Banshee set, and the whole point of actually inventory loadout. Let's go ahead and save that. The Banshee setup that I've got, I specifically rolled just for running Dark Zone with, just to see, just to play around with it. And you know, I'm not the biggest on Dark Zone, but with that, we'll quickly look over the Banshee shadow armor, whatever you want to call it. You know, I've tried to roll for a little bit of toughness and more towards firearms with nothing put in electronics and skill power. Your bonuses for the Banshee set, 20% more looted DZ funds. Ooh, big deal. 10% damage to target out of cover. Okay, yeah, if you're engaging in PvP and you got people running around back and forth, they're not going to be using cover, so yeah, that just works. With the 4-piece, if you are rogue, all your ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds, and damage taken from non-rogue players is reduced by 10%. So this kind of caters towards general douchebaggery, so if you want to go rogue and stay rogue, you're going to get free ammo without having to go back and restock, and people are going to do 10% less damage to you. However, if you're not rogue, damage to rogue players is increased by 10%, so doesn't that kind of neutral itself out there? The bonus is increased by 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. So if you go out there and you get killed by a rogue, then you're going to get, you know, if they're wearing a full Banshee set, it's going to actually give you 10% increased damage against them. You know, it's not a bad gear set the way it's rolled. I went out to the Dark Zone, ran around for a little bit, and cleared a few whatever you call them, the checkpoints or what have you, landmarks, and took out a couple named NPCs, all solo, and, you know, relative ease. It wasn't, oh my god, this is too easy, but it was general, it was basic, it was okay. Of course, to look at the 6-piece on this, the 5-piece was more DZ funds and 5% more damage to targets out of cover. But on the 6-piece, while you're rogue, time to clear the manhunt status, which to clear it, you actually have primarily there's a box, a station, a machine you have to go to and utilize it to remove your manhunt status. Anything you do while you're rogue, rogue status actions that result in a rank up are doubled. Rewards for clearing manhunt status is improved, so you get more manhunt boxes if you go around, get to manhunt level 5, and then manage to go to a station and clear it. Yeah, caters to the douchebaggery. But while you're not rogue, damage to manhunt status players increased by another 5%. So if they're rogue and and you get killed, you come back out and you got an additional 25% damage to them. Oh, it's 5% for each manhunt level. So if they're manhunt level 5, you're going to do an additional 25% that way, plus another 20%. So that's 45% damage. So if you're going to go after somebody who's in manhunt status, I would say go out there. You're probably going to get killed to begin with anyway, but if you do, or even if you don't, go ahead and get killed once, get that extra bonus, and now when you go back after them, you got some vengeance going. So yeah, I guess if Dark Zone is your thing, then roll with it. And I do have a Nomad on this character. How good is it? Not a clue. Because as you see, I've got everything rolled into stamina, with nothing rolled into anything else. So I guess this was an experimental run, just to kind of see the damage resilience, because Nomad's Luck is fun, but you know, why would I roll everything into stamina? There was a reason for it. Guess just to see what the survivability was on it. But, yeah, there was a reason why I rolled it in here. And I thought there was a stamina requirement that said it was boosted by every 2,000 stamina. So apparently they have either changed it, or I'm just old and forgetful. But 50% chance to have no cooldown for Path of Nomad. You take 75% less damage for 10 seconds after a Path of Nomad is triggered. That increases the health, plus an additional 10% health on kill. Huh. Yeah, there was a reason why I did this, and I have no clue what it was now. And like I said, I was pretty sure that the previous set, D3 is for every 2,000. There was a reason why, and I'm just morally retarded and don't remember. But what we'll do is we'll go out there and just do a quick run around, see what it's like. Having everything rolled into stamina. More or less want to see what the damage resilience, you know, being shot, what that looks like. And again, we are in World Tier 5. I'm not cheating and running World Tier 1 or anything like that. So this is normal. I don't see the overheal thing either. Fall down much. I didn't expect this. Reload. Look at this melee guy up. Yeah. I don't have the overheal. I want one of you. One of you is going to die, and you need to get over it. You're going to let me reload. I only wanted one of you down. Oh, the reload. I will require your services. Serious? Put a turret out? Screw your turret. So yeah, you know, decent survivability. There's the overheal coming up now. Not liking the amount of firearms that's on this. Alright, only want one of you. Oh, the reload speed is real. I want you. No, I don't want you. Oh, the DPS is just absolutely terrible. Tech 9? Come on. Why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? Alright, so I would say reasonably good for the survivability aspect of it, but I really don't like the DPS. So the normal build that I run on this is split between the two, between firearms and the stamina. But, and that's not what we're here for. Let's head back over to safe house. Like I said, that Banshee set, it's not bad. Yeah, like I said, it's not great overall, but what I'm finding so far with 1.8 is you really need to balance your stamina and your, try to get your survivability up. Doesn't matter what set you're running. Like I said, with the that Predators, and I mean, if you look at the way the stats are rolled on it, 6,500 on stamina, 486,000 toughness. That should be pretty good. It's not really. As you saw, I mean, it's not you're not going to be tanking with this build. So, probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and roll it a little bit more on firearms, just for that sake. Even though you get the bonus for the stamina, it just really doesn't seem worth it. I've already rolled this one to be max on everything, so the stamina stats are 1401 for all pieces of armor, but I'm going to go ahead and roll some of these pieces back over to, see, that one's on firearms. That one's on firearms. Of course, it's a holster, so it's 1401 across the board. I put critical hit chance on a lot of these things too. Critical hit chance and critical hit damage, trying to get more overall damage. That one's rolled firearms. So I'm actually going to start rolling these over. So bear with the boringness, but I will try not to take too long doing this. I'm going to roll off the stamina on these, and I'm just going to put everything into firearms. Because survivability on this really just sucks anyway. So if I'm going to have to be in cover and fight from cover, I might as well be able to do a buttload of frickin' DPS. And yes, it wasn't bad. But, like I said, if I'm going to be fighting from cover and utilizing, a medic to keep my ass alive while I'm out there in the field, then like I said, I might as well go ahead and just be a bullet hose. So let's see what this does. I even expect even more health in it. And like I said, I'm just totally not happy with the survivability. And yes, I can go to recalibrate everything over at the optimization station, but to save on your division tech, it's always best to go ahead and try to roll it as high as you possibly can, just so you use less division tech, because honestly, when you're out there trying to farm division tech and you find a box somewhere, you're getting one division tech. That's just horrible. You get a West Side Pure Cache, you get a little bit as well. Just the flow of division tech, there's just, I know you have to really balance it, because really and truly, if it was just easy to get, then everybody would be running around with god roll gear. And yeah, I understand the principle of why it's more difficult to get, but I'd kind of like a little bit more. Well, I'll take that, a 1401 roll. That doesn't happen very often, or never. Alright, so yeah, it's just... Hey, high roller. That's actually, again, if you haven't noticed, and the masks will not say that it is maxed out. Whereas you look at, and I know that it is, and I know that this is, it is as good as it gets. Can give an example. The rest of them will say item fully optimized. The masks do not. So you really have to watch on those. So shouldn't take much. And I got 586 on my Division Tech right now. As all I'm upgrading is one stat. Really, $13.99. You couldn't give me the other couple. So this is gonna go the other way, lopsided, from everything rolled into stamina to everything now rolled into firearms, because you really want to maximize. That one's already fully optimized, and holster is good. Knees are good. Okay. So we're at just over 10,000 on firearms. Toughness only came down to 324, so it's not bad. I mean, it wasn't really that useful where it was, so yeah, whatever. So new patch, the Gambler, yay. So let's go take a peek, see what the damage looks like on this guy. And we know we got that overly long reload speed on this LMG. So let's actually get the Urban MDR. Never mind. So let's try it with the Urban MDR. And what should actually be a whole lot more fun is the Historian, with its bonus to the explosion. When you shoot something, it blows up a few seconds later. Really? Nobody spawned right here. 4 shots. Really appalling for survivability, and I kind of expected that, but the damage that it does, if you want a bullet hose, definitely roll with it. But if you're trying to survive, yeah, not really going to happen. So yeah, that's Predator's Mark with 10k on firearms now, as opposed to 10k on stamina. I would honestly also probably consider rolling a sniper, or you can run this guy here, or... So let's look at a regular sniper, and of course the only one that I have is the Devil, with discipline, harmful, yeah, whatever. Let's see if we can get a headshot here. Keep in mind that it is a semi-automatic sniper. So naturally you don't get near as much damage. Excuse me. So I guess laying down volume of sniper fire is your thing, then yeah, semi-automatic snipers are okay. I don't think I have a Historian. Of course not. That would be convenient. So, if you run the Historian and you've got maxed out 10,000 on firepower, you're going to get a pretty decent amount of damage from the explosion damage afterwards. So you get 2, 3, 4 shots in somebody, or you know, an NPC, and let those 2 or 3 shots do their thing, and you're going to get, I guess, faster clearing if you're just trying to do it that way. But really need to test out to see what happens when you're running an actual bolt action decent sniper. And I'm pretty sure I probably have one in my stash somewhere. Again, with this though, you're not going to get any kind of headshot bonuses, or, you know, it's not a sniper build. It's just a high firearms build. Kind of a ghost town over here compared to what it usually is. And there's a Historian, cool-headed, toxic, which that's fine. Snatch one of those out, and M700 carbon. Yeah, we'll snatch one of those. Probably should take a look at one of those LVOACs. I don't really think I want to get close proximity with this build. I don't think you'd fare out too well trying to stay close in unless you've got good backup support. Oh, I have nothing for scopes. No, we're not going to strip the Historian. I'll make a scope real quick. Yep, because we need rate of fire. That's what we need. And we'll just run with that. It's terrible, but whatever. We just need to make a scope really quickly. And that will do quite nicely. That sucks. I don't care. I really don't care at this point. But technically it is better than that. So let's actually just run over to the shooting range and do a quick test on that. But I'm still gonna have to say is the Nomad set and the D3 FNC set are probably gonna be my favorite two now for just in general butt kicking. 417, 417, 525. That's pretty crap. Yeah, not happy with the performance of that, but now with this is kind of stacking a couple things on it. Is with the Predators, if you make 10 headshots, do you get the bonus bleed effect? You get the explosions. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're just getting the bleed. You're not getting the bleed effect from it. You're getting the shot and you're getting the explosion. It's about 210,000. Not great, but then again, this is not a sniper build. It's just using a sniper on a, whatever Predator's build. So, on a scale of 1 to 10 for solo usability, for the average player, I would probably give this about a 5 or a 6. It's usable, but it's really poor survivability. So, I would probably venture to say that I need to switch back over and look at some other, but instead of doing that just yet, I'm actually going to grab from here just for the sake of showing. It's going to take a while to get this completely 100%ed out, but let's go ahead and grab the tactician set. And a lot of you know that primarily what I run is a tactician set, but the seeker mines and the turrets, the damage has just been neutered so much in between the two of them that excuse me, I just don't see the need to run a full 6-piece classified tactician set. So take a look at the bonuses on it. You've got the usual, with a 2-piece set you're going to gain skill haste by 15%. 3-piece you're going to get 10% skill power. On the 4-piece, every bullet your group hits, essentially whenever you shoot a target. And this also worked for the regular turret, not the flame turret, but as it's shooting a target and you're shooting it, people in your group are shooting at targets, it stacks up to a maximum of 30 points. So what that does is going to give you an extra 0.2% of skill power for a max of 30%. So you get up to a 30% bonus in skill power, which is good and bad. Bonus is consumed on skill use, so if you've got things stacked 30 times, then you throw a seeker mine out, it's still kind of fuzzy on that. Once you deploy it, your skill power goes back down again. So does that affect the actual explosion damage after the seekers have already gone out? Or, yeah, it's just it's decreased overall. The set bonus for number 5 is 5% more skill haste and skill power. There is no 6-piece. There is no 6th piece, so it really defies the need for you to actually run all 6 pieces of the Tactician's Authority. So if you wanted to, you could actually run a Barrett's chest piece to try to accentuate your skill power, damage, that kind of stuff, or any other kind of whatever you want. Right now, this is actually out of the box. My electronics is $6,000. This would not be a horrible setup just to go run with. With no mods on it whatsoever. We're at 4K firearms and stamina, 6,300 on firearms. Let's see. Not much in the way of bonuses for a whole lot of stuff. Skill power, skill haste is only 20%. 20%. And that's all from skill haste 15%. Plus 5 makes 20. So yeah, if you really want to get your skill haste up, and I would say if you're going to run a seeker build, or if you're going to run a seeker / turret build, or what have you, then you really need to look into getting additional skill haste. Having 50% skill haste is the norm on this, and I'm pretty sure I don't have any good electronics mods on this particular one. I mean, I've got some garbage ones that are gonna get the job done barely. No, I don't want that. I don't want that plus resistance. Yeah, so you'd really need to spec into haste as much as you possibly can. Yeah, this is kind of a pointless endeavor right now. Not bad to think about adding some into health, but see if any of these other mods actually had skill haste on them, and of course not. Yeah, I would definitely start looking for any mods with skill haste on them. I just don't happen to have any right now. So I'm just kind of throwing together something. Haven't really done much in the way of running sticky bombs. Not a bad way to go. Turret duration, why the hell not? Like I said, the mods that I have right now are just pure garbage because all of the good mods are on character number 1 and 2. Number 3 doesn't really get used all that much, so it doesn't really get the cool stuff. Secret Mine Explosion Radius. I don't think I've ever really used those. But I'm not going to do a full optimization on this one. There's just no point. I'm not going to run it. I will actually do it a good build. My usual Seeker style build. Yeah, I'm not even going to put a mod in there. This is just garbage. So I'll run my usual. So running with this particular turret, the machine gun portion of it is actually going to, well, it's supposed to pulse the target, and if you do a pulse mod, that might help with overall damage. But what primarily I use this for is whenever it hits target, it actually adds to the tactician bonus. And on Seeker, I'm just going to run a cluster. You know, if you look at the damage of this is absolutely just pathetic. Now, I will re-roll these items a little bit just to put them all into electronics, but I'm not going to do a full optimization on it just for the sake of doing it. Never got a skill power on it, but I just wanted to show some of the reasoning and thought process. This is just going to be good enough. I'm not going to try to max this gear out. I'm just going to push everything into electronics and try to get it roughly at least 1350 on the roll. I'm not worried about the rest of it all that much. What I may do is just a complete separate video on the full Tactician's skill power build, just to showcase, and I'll probably work on that later this evening. Alright, that's good enough. And will you let me throw some skill power on there? There's some, I can potentially throw some skill haste. 9% on that slot, or 9% on that slot. Yeah, screw it. Alright, we'll run with that. $13.91, that's good. Let's actually throw some on skill power. It takes a while to get everything set up. Damn sure I don't need pistol damage. We'll throw that on skill haste. It's 1341 on electronics. I'm gonna leave that the way it is. But I will improve that. 1374, close enough for government work. And we'll change critical hit chance over to skill power. Or skill haste. Alright, this should be good enough to... Yeah, should be good enough. So that's going to give me right at 10,000 mark on electronics, 384 on skill power. That could be higher. Like I said, I could easily just come over here and optimize everything, but I'm not gonna. What we'll do is we'll head back over to Camp Clinton and just a quick demonstration on that, and then I believe we will end the video. And I will actually go back onto another character where I've been preparing a full Tactician's Seeker turret build, where I've got the plus 4% mods and so forth, and just do an actual dedicated full video for Tactician's Authority 5-piece set, since there is no 6th-piece bonus. I'll just throw something else on there to hopefully, like maybe a Barrett's chest piece rolled for electronics as well, just to try to stimulate the kill power. Alright, I'm going to place the turret right here. Start warming up and give me some tactician points. Alright, so that's already 30. Take out my damn turret, you badass. Alright. Excuse me. I believe I was talking. Really liking the bullfrog for just generalized use. Huh. The rate of fire helps, especially whenever you don't have much. Wow, that's painful. Alright, so like I was saying, I was going to actually use those 30 points on the Seeker Mine, but I wasn't going to waste it on those big heavies. I like, and I have been using this, my classic Seeker build for quite some time. So let's see what it does. Not bad. Hey, you got turrets out. I got a turret too. So let's go ahead and build up another stack. Really? You're gonna sit here and grenade? Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. And I'm going to have to burn it off just because these guys are going to rip me to shreds. My turret doesn't seem to have been effective. So the bleed effect is very, very helpful on these Seeker mines. I threw my turret out and they either ripped it to shreds really, really quickly, or I just thought I did. No, it was out. It was just doing absolutely nothing. Okay, so Fatso here is going to destroy my turret no matter where I put it. And that is not where I told you to go. So he's probably just going to use a, excuse me, but I'm busy. Yep, see, he just walked right over and dissolved my turret. spot. You need to firmly kiss my ass. So, yeah, with the turret up there, he can't get to it, so that's good. And I'm stacked at 30 again, so let's just get one good quick look on the and I'm gonna get shot from every damn angle. Here's my turret spawn again. And it was there, it was just doing nothing. So let's take a look at this one actually and see what's going on with it. Yeah, a little over 100 grand on the pop. So, alright, that is close enough for now. So let's go ahead and open these two caches, head back to base of operations, and I will go ahead and end the video. I will go to my other character and start setting up a full tactician's build geared towards the seeker mine and geared towards the regular turret, and I will showcase that in a separate video, show what kind of carnage we can come up with. I don't think this would be the greatest area to test in because of the fact that things tend to spawn in behind you, so it's a little bit on the rough side. Yay, garbage. Alright, so with that, I do thank you for watching, and check back in later for the video that I'll have on the tacticians, and we'll see you on that video. Have a good one.